Explaining what it means. I'm recording now. So we're going to talk about football. It'll help. So here is the Vikings' last 5 games. Anybody a fan of the Vikings? Not anymore? Not like as of this year?
Look at the last score.
Are you saying that because of these scores right here, you've given up on your whole team?
Pretty much.
Wow. You're a fair weather friend. But if they did really well, like next week, would you like them again?
No.
Oh. Wow. This is like an abusive relationship, and that was the last straw.
They're gonna make it to the playoffs.
They didn't lose to the Browns.
Browns is one of the worst teams in the
So what you're saying is they didn't win good enough?
No.
Okay. All right. For those of you who follow football, which seems to be you two, Peyton, you into it? How about you, Casey?
A little bit.
Are you girls into it? No. Okay. Do these look about right?
Yeah.
Okay. So a population mean, which we've already talked about, have we talked about that symbol? This is a Greek letter. It is not like a fancy M. This is like a lowercase u with a tail in the front, and it is pronounced mu.
We did talk about that.
We did? Mew.
In freshman year.
Like a kitten?
Yeah.
Mew. Okay. And I'm going to write it like a mathematician. So I'm going to say that mu equals the summation of all of the data points divided by n, your sample size.
Whoa.
Doesn't it look fancy when it's just an average? All right, so let's figure out the mean of the Vikings. So take your calculator. And we're only adding up just the Vikings scores, not the opponent's scores. Did you guys get 24.6?
Yep.
Is everybody comfortable with what an average is?
Like a mean?
Yeah, it's a mean, right? An average is a mean. Everybody good with that? Okay. A deviation is how far above or below a data point is from a mean. The formula is the data point minus the mean, x minus mu. So, for example, on their first game, their deviation would be 27 minus 24.6, which is what? 2.4, positive 2.4. That means that they scored about 2.4 points better than their average on their first game. But their second game, 6 minus 24.6, is what? Negative 18.6. So on that one, they were below their average. These are deviations. Sometimes you're a bit above the average, sometimes you're below the average. Do you guys understand that deviations can be positive and negative? A population standard deviation is the average deviation. It's on average how far these data points are deviating from the mean. In other words, it's how consistent you are. So, if a football team has a standard deviation of 0, are they a good team or a bad team?
Good.
Depends. What do you mean by depends?
Because they could be scoring a lot of points just every time.
Or none every time, right? Like, I can promise you that if I was a football player, I would be super consistent. I would get 0 points every game. I'd be so consistent. I'd be really consistent at getting 0 points. Like, I even try really hard and I'd still get 0 points. I promise you. I would get no points for my team whatsoever. But you could be a team that's consistently wonderful, where every single game you get 40 points. If you're always right on, you've got a standard deviation of 0. If you start fluctuating a little bit, your standard deviation is going to be small. If sometimes you blow people out of the water and sometimes you score really low, that's a really wide range. That means you're super inconsistent, which means your standard deviation will be high. What do you think? Do you think the Vikings are consistent?
No.
I'd say, man, if you look at these three, pretty consistent. That 6 is pretty low. That 48 is pretty high. So,
It evens out.
well, not really. I mean, it would on a mean, right? Because on a mean, it makes sense that this average is 24.6.
Yeah.
Because these are all in the 20s, and this one's really high and this one's really low. They kind of even out. But that's not how it works with standard deviation. Standard deviation shows how consistent you are. So unless you have a whole bunch of things where it evens out, as in, like, you get closer and closer, I guess, but... Okay, I'll put these right next to each other. I'm going to do these problems in 3 different ways. We're going to write it in words, we're going to write it in symbols, and we're going to do an example at the same time. All right, so we're going to start with a chart. Let's see. 1, 2... It's just 3? It's just 3. All right, so we're going to have 3 columns and 5 rows. You guys are going to come up with the formula for standard deviation. And I'm going to help. So we're going to start with our data points from the front page, which was 27. 6, 48, 21, and 21. Now, if I'm trying to find the average deviation, what do you think is the first thing I have to do? Find the mean. That's exactly right. All right, so in words, my first step is going to be find the mean.
What grade is she on? And also, who is this?
Thomas Westaby. He's in 10th. And Callie Schrant, I think, is in 11th.
Where is that? Oh. Westabt?
West, A-B-Y.
Oh, ABY.
Westaby. All right. So, find the mean. That is mu. Mu is the summation of all the x's divided by n. Okay. So over here, sorry, you want me to put that up again? All right. So I think we already did this, but I'm going to write step 1 right here. The summation of all the x's equaled, was it 123? And then we divided by 5, and we got 24.6, right? And that's my mu. So on my sheet, we're going to have step 1 in words, step 1 in symbols, and then step 1 on the example. Does that work? Okay, now what do you think we need to do so that we can find the average deviation?
Subtract them all from the.
Yes, so all the deviations. So that's x minus mu's. So this is going to be my second step, all of my deviations. I'm going to go back to my in words. I'm going to write find the deviations. And the formula for finding the deviations is x minus mu. All right, I'm going to start assigning people work now. So everybody got their calculator? Yeah. All right, Trey, you can do this one. That one's for Dylan. This one's for Peyton. This one's Casey, and this one's Chevelle. You're free for now, Taya. You read the first one next. So you're taking the data point and you're minusing the mean. Some of you will have positive numbers, some of you will have negative numbers. Trey, what do you got? 2.4. Trey's data point is 2.4 above the mean.
Voice lesson, so.
Okay, thank you. Dylan?
Negative 18.6.
Negative 18.6. He is 18.6 below. Peyton? 23.4. Peyton's data point is 23 above. Casey? Negative 3.6. Chevelle? Why are Casey and Chevelle's exactly the same? Because they have the same data point, which means that it deviates from the mean in the same way. All right, we're not going to do it right now, but what do you think would happen if we added all these up right now? It'd be close to 0. Do you want to try it? Try it. 2.4 plus negative 18.6 plus 23.4. Do you think it would always be 0? It would always be exactly 0, and that's because some of them are below, some of them are above. They average out, right? That's what the mean is. The mean is right in the middle. Even though there are 3 that are negative and 2 that are positive, do you see that the 2 that are positive are big enough that they are weighing equal to the 3 that are negative together?
Yes.
Okay. So the problem is that normally if we're finding an average, we would just add up stuff and divide by how many we have. But we can't do that because it would just be 0. So the question is, how do you make it positive? We need a mathematical thing that we can do and then undo. Yes? Yes, now a lot of mathematicians actually agree with you and say that the correct formula for standard deviation should be an absolute value, but the people that argue against it, and what is currently not the rule, is the fact that you can't undo it. There's not an opposite absolute value thing. But the thing I'm thinking of does have something that you can undo it, and it always makes it positive. What?
Square it and then square root it afterwards.
Yes, so the next step is we're going to square it to make them all positive. So here I'm going to write square the deviations. Trey, go get another prize. That was really smart. What's the formula?
Mu squared.
Mu is the mean.
Oh wait, deviation.
Right, and this is the deviation, x minus mu, so I'm going to write x minus mu squared. This is going to make them all positive. All right, Taya, you got this one. Trey, you got that one. Dylan, Peyton, and Casey, Chevelle, you get a break. How in a class of 6 people do we have 2 T's and 2 C's? Mm-hmm. What do you think of this? Do you like doing it 3 different ways at once? No?
We will have to remember it.
I hope so. I was really disappointed in how I learned it in high school, so I tried to make it better. What?
How will we have to do it on the assignment?
I mean, this is the example. You'll be doing it like this. This is just helping you remember. Like directions, an example. And when I was a kid, what I got was I got the big formula that's at the end of this. And that's all I got. I didn't get explanations. I didn't understand what I was doing. All right. So we're starting with Taya.
5.76.
5.76. Trey. 345.96. Dylan.
Say it. 547.
Peyton.
Hold on. 12.96.
Casey.
12.96.
All right. Now, if this was where we were trying to find an average, we would now do what? We'd add them all up, and then we divide by how many we have, right? Okay, so we're going to add them all up. Chevelle, go for it. And over here, I'm going to write add the squared deviations.
We got 925.19.
925.19.
Yeah. Maybe I added wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I think it's 0.2. Well, I added really wrong.
It's just 0.2,
Oh, okay. It is 0.2.
but it is still,
Because I did 5.75 instead of 5.76.
got it. This is correct. This is a summation as well. All right, so over here, this is my 4th step right here. And then right here, I'm going to write, this is a summation of all of the x minus mu squareds. Now, if this was an average, what would we do now? Divide it by 5. Is it always 5?
No.
It's how many data points you have. Over here, I'm going to write divide by how many data points you have. It is the summation of x minus mu squareds divided by n. All right, now Trey, what did you say to me earlier? If we square it, then at the end we can do a square root and get rid of it. So the last step is taking a square root. 185.04, the square root of that, which is 13.6. That's our standard deviation. The symbol for standard deviation looks like an O with a line sticking out of the top of that. That is called sigma. Just like the stupid capital E, I have no idea why in the Greek alphabet that's a lowercase sigma and that's an uppercase sigma, but it is. But this means standard deviation. So over here on the other side, I'm going to write, so see, divide how many data points you have. Last step is to take the square root. And then the final formula for standard deviation is the square root of the summation of all the deviations squared divided by n. And then I'm going to write that right here. That's the formula for standard deviation on the front side. It is the square root of the summation of all the deviations squared divided by n. So now, when you do your homework, sure. When you do your homework, you've got 3 different ways that you can remember it. You can remember it by looking at the words, the directions. You can look at it in symbols if you want to. You can just do the formula like I did when I was in high school. Or you can use this example. So this is your homework on the back. Just this. It says, that was only the first 5 games of the official season. The preseason went like this. So now I want you to make a new mean, a new standard deviation, new variance. So everybody right now, in your homework, you're going to make a chart. It is still going to have 3 columns, but how many rows will it have?
3.
No. 8. Because we're putting the preseason in with the regular season now. We're not doing them separately. And you can't say the mean is 24.6 because do you guys understand how the mean is going to change as well? Does everybody understand? The mean is going to change too. You can just go to the nearest tenth for your mean. So this problem is due tomorrow, and it's just this problem. Okay, so how'd I do? I know that it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but do you guys feel like you understand?